New York, always interested in your being with us and grateful for the opportunity to come your way each weekday, 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern on great television and radio stations all across the country and online at theBingeThinker.com. You ever want the latest edition, the latest episode, just go down to the Kevin McCullough Show, right-hand side of that page there and hit that TV screen and you'll get the most recent show. And it will always be live during the show that we're doing for that particular day. My next guest is the founder of a group called Generation Opportunity. What is that? A nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that wants to educate and organize young Americans on the challenges facing our nation. Well, given the challenges that are there, it's a fairly significant bite to take on, and that's one of the reasons why I'm excited to speak with Paul T. Conway, the president of Generation Opportunity, a new nonpartisan, nonprofit, 501c4 organization that is seeking to do just that, educate and organize young people prior to the 2012 election. When I say young people, I mean 18 to 24-year-olds, those groups of people called millennials. Paul, welcome to the Kevin McCullough Show.
Hey, thanks a lot, Kevin.
And where are you joining us from today? Are you in the nation's capital?
Actually, we're just outside, fortunately.
Yeah.
We're in Arlington, Virginia.
Very good. Well, you're looking bright and dapper and at it this morning, so we're grateful for you being here. What was the catalyst? What was the agitation that caused you to found Generation Opportunity? What bug crawled up into your bother button and said, you know, we got to get this group going? What was it about these particular days that you felt this was so important?
Well, I'll give credit where credit's due. Some folks had come together with the concept of trying to create an organization that could reach out to those, and our bracket is actually a little bit bigger, it's 18 to 29, and engage them over a long period of time, as opposed to just hitting folks with a television commercial or a radio commercial before Election Day. Engage folks over a long period of time in a medium that they're familiar with, social media, and also at the ground level, trust their intelligence to make clear decisions on issues that impact their lives, using a variety of sources and coming to their own conclusions. And so the idea was, can you do this, and can you go ahead and take it national and engage, you know, like 1 million people or something like that, and get them talking about the issues that impact them. And we've been fairly successful about that, and there's a huge amount of interest in it. And we're slightly over 900,000 people at this point. We came out publicly around June 1st.
Yeah. Generation Opportunity, the website is generationopportunity.com, but if you go to Facebook, you will see that on the Generation Opportunity page, they are closing in on 1 million participants in the group so far, and that is certainly something that is no small feat, Paul, so you're to be congratulated on that. Let me ask you a little bit about why 18 to 29-year-olds. What is it about this age group that makes it so important?
Well, this age group's important because when you look on where this demographic will be in the future, by 2020, those who are 18 to 29, what the media often dubs millennials, they'll be close to 38% of the electorate. And so when you take a look at folks and you see the issues that they're dealing with now and you're concerned about the direction of the country, you want to engage them as early as you can. And there's precedent for this. Obviously, in 2008, there was a presidential campaign that did a fantastic job of this. That was President Obama's campaign, reached out through social media. But when you take a look at the economy now and unemployment issues and things like that, the question is, have these folks remained engaged? Has the White House continued to reach out to them? Is there more than one perspective available to them? So we thought it's probably important to provide multiple perspectives to folks, let them come to their own conclusions about the issues around them, not only in their own life, but the direction of the country.
Now, that's, I'm guessing that's one of the reasons why you tout Generation Opportunity as a nonpartisan group. But are you really nonpartisan, or are there things about the two different parties that are actually good that you might emulate from either side?
Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, the nonpartisan and nonprofit is a tax status. It's 501c4, which allows us to go out and educate. But as far as being nonpartisan, we think we can do that mission and do it quite well. We have a wide variety of opinion on our staff. We work with a lot of folks around town in Washington and in state capitals. We never ask folks what their party affiliation is when we hire them. We've got a great team here, a lot of internal debate, which is a good thing. But there's certain principles that we're organized around, and those are economic opportunity, individual freedom, and small government. And what's interesting is when you take a look at American history and political history, no party really owned those three principles. It's just that some parties talk to them more often than others. But when you see 2012 coming and in the elections that go well beyond that, I think it'll be a national debate. But I'm hesitant to say that one party owns those principles or does not own them, or one philosophy owns them and does not. I think that's kind of a set of American values, and who speaks to those the most and connects with people, I think probably has the most airtime and the most listening time with folks who are trying to learn a different perspective.
Well, I think that's an astute observation. We're speaking with Paul Conway, who is the top dog at Generation Opportunity, and he's joining us live from our nation's capital, or the area just outside Arlington, Virginia, this morning. You've had some coverage of what Generation Opportunity is doing, Paul, but I want to go back to what you were just talking about, no party owning those ideas altogether. And the fact that Republicans, when they had power, seemed sometimes as lost as Democrats did when it came to the size of government and the idea of living fiscally within one's means, et cetera, et cetera. Those are all legitimate criticisms that can be laid at the feet of both leaders from both parties from years past. And wasn't that really the impetus for why that kind of third mystery group, the Tea Party, ended up coming about to begin with? I mean, I spoke at a lot of Tea Parties, still do from time to time. That's a group that I always find registered Democrats and Republicans, libertarians, all kinds of folks across the spectrum participating in. They just do really believe that we're at a situation where we don't want government to be so involved in every element of our life and taxing us as much as they have to do to be that involved.
I completely agree with you. Look, we get asked a lot of questions about why are you trying to reach out to this demographic, but I think people need to step back, especially when they're casting aspersions at any kind of organization that's trying to organize Americans and educate them on their right and their obligation to vote. Folks have asked us, for example, about Rock the Vote. And what I always tell folks is any organization that steps out, that educates people on their fundamental rights as Americans and as good citizens to get involved in the political process is doing a good mission. Now, when you take a look at the Tea Party, some of the characterizations of the Tea Party I think are quite unfair, because you're correct. When you actually go out and talk to folks that are Tea Party activists, a lot of them are concerned about the direction of the country. It's not just a personal life type of thing. So to say that Tea Party only acts in their own self-interest or something like that, I think it's a complete malignment of a movement. Because what you have are a lot of folks who are concerned not only about what's going on in their community and in their home, but you have a lot of folks that are looking at the country and where America is going to be 10 years from now. And you have a competitive global economy. We've heard about this for years from both parties. So at a point now where unemployment is so high and things are being cut back, people are taking a look and saying, where's America going to be 10 years from now? We compete with the Chinese, we compete with the Indians. And when you take a look at this, I think that there's a lot of concern about where is America going to be 10 years from now, and where can America be on its best day? I mean, that's what we're all about. We always look to the future. And I think this is a group of people that want to impact that.
I think one of the things that's frustrating about this election cycle is that, and it's certainly frustrating for the current president, is that we have not seen a very good day for a very, very long time. And when you're talking about millennials in particular, Paul, what types of impact is the current economy having on the 18 to 29-year-olds?
It's a pretty tough go. And I served as chief of staff at the United States Department of Labor. So once a month, there's a day, it's called Numbers Day. And you take a look at the unemployment numbers and the jobs numbers, and then they're released to the public. And not too long ago, there was a government official or a campaign official, I think, that dismissed the reports that come out once a month on Numbers Day. We tend to look at it a little bit differently. 77% of those in the 18 to 29 demographic have indicated that the economy, due to the economy, they have either already made or will delay a major life decision based on how it has impacted them. And this is important long-term for the country, because within that number of 77%, 44% have indicated that they're putting off buying a home. 28% are delaying saving for retirement. 18% are delaying getting married. And 23% are delaying starting a family. And here's the real kicker. When we talk about America's competitive standing in the world for competition and competing with China and competing with India, 27% have indicated that they're going to delay going back to school, going to school, or getting more professional training. So when you take a look at the long-term ripple for the country, it's not a good thing. And then when you take a look at the individual impact in terms of human life, and what the struggle is that people are going through every day, those numbers that come out once a month, they tell a story of millions of Americans who are trying to get opportunity and make a difference in their own life. And we think that's important for people to understand that it's not a sterile number. And that you have millions of folks who are trying to make a difference just to get a job or stay in a job. And that's a story I think that we're involved in telling and that many more people ought to tell. It's not just the number.
What's the long-term goal of Generation Opportunity? What will success be defined for your organization?
Well, the issue of metrics, go through the numbers. I mean, we're very close to having 1 million people on our Facebook page being American, which is a good thing. And there are millions of other people that are talking to them through Facebook. So we know we're having an impact in the immediate sense on a day-to-day basis. Long term, have you been able to take the demographic of 18 to 29, expose them to a wide range of perspectives? I mean, we cite things like Heritage Foundation, Brookings Institution, the Government Accountability Office. Are you putting information in front of them long term so they can come to their own conclusions and they feel some sense of engagement in the political process, that it's more than about just one election cycle? That what impacts your wallet today is oftentimes a policy decision that was made a year or many years ago.
Right.
And so looking forward, can they take a look at the daily news now and say, hey, this may impact my country, this may impact my community, I need to remain engaged. And that's really what our goal is.
Paul Conway has been my guest. The group is generationopportunity.org. Check it out today. And the Facebook page is called Being American. And again, it's closing in on 1 million members. You could be the millionth. Paul, thanks for being with us.
You bet. Thanks a lot.
All right, Kevin McCullough coming right back. Another heart-wrenching story about a parent and a child.